They were small, very small. And they said that there's possibilities of them not living. God would not tell me that I would have his blessing only to take it away and strip it away from me. He wouldn't do that.
Leroy and Nicole Longoria were blessed with 4 wonderful daughters over the years. However, Nicole still felt a desire to complete their family with a boy. After much prayer, she heard a word from God.
And the Lord finally said, okay, you will have a son. And he kept mentioning a double portion blessing. I didn't understand what that was, honestly.
She kept telling me she had a promise, she had a dream, she was promised a baby boy. I believed her.
Shortly after, in January of 2022, Nicole learned she was pregnant and that it would indeed be a boy. Though not just one, but 2. The Longorias were overjoyed that God's promise would be fulfilled. However, there was a complication at week 12, twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome.
One of the babies is donating all of his nutrients or all the things to the other baby. He said it can lose one baby or both babies. I did tell God that I was afraid, but at the same time I trusted him.
Surgery was an option, but even with that, there was still a high risk of losing one or both of the boys. The Longorias were given 3 days to make a decision. They turned to God for the answer.
So I got on my knees and I started praying. I'm going to believe you, God. I'm still going to believe, even though it seems impossible, because it does. I remember them doing the sonogram. The doctor came in and her eyes just got really big. And she said, out of all my years of practice, I've never seen this happen. It's like it resolved on its own. I did cry. And I did say loudly, I was like, that was God. Only God could do that.
With both boys now developing properly without the need for surgery, the Longorias went home filled with hope. But then, 27 weeks into the pregnancy, Nicole's water suddenly broke in the bathroom and she prematurely gave birth to the first twin on the floor. 911 was called and an ambulance took them to the hospital, where the second twin was delivered. While both boys were in danger of losing their lives due to their difficult and premature births, one of them also had a severe intestinal issue.
Then heard the doctor saying that it was best that we pull the plugs and hold him for the last bit of time that we had left. I remember telling her, no, I will not allow those death words to be spoken over my son, around him, near him, or around us ever again. You do what you can do, and I'm going to believe that my God's going to do the rest. And I remember my husband saying too, God promised us that we would have a son, and he gave us 2, and we're going to walk out here with 2.
You know, you do the best you can, try to be a good dad and be protective. And in this time, I had no control over anything at all. I was just hoping and begging God, you can do something. I believed the promise. I believed that there was a promise still, you know.
Then, after several surgeries, both twins miraculously began to improve. It was a slow process, but 115 days later, Leon and Matthew were home. Today, they are perfectly healthy. Leroy and Nicole see their family as living evidence of God's faithfulness and love.
I'm very grateful because it truly is a blessing. It's a blessing to be a father, you know, to my 4 girls and now 2 boys. I do believe in the power of prayer because that was part of it. I think it could have went completely opposite, you know. Give it to God. Give it to him and let him take care of it, and he will.
It's amazing to see how God really brought us through that. And hearing all the negative stuff, you think that nothing good could come out of it. But here we are, being able to be home and hold them and feed them and feel the touch of their skin and see them smile at me in the mornings and at night. It makes me really joyful and thankful to God more than I have ever been. When he gives a promise, when he says he will do something, he will do it. He was there for me and for them and for my whole family through it all.